So the ball evens out in football. That's always going to happen. And this play is a good example. So first third down, Emmanuel Moseley against Odell Beckham to the top of the screen. Long third down. Moseley is in position. He is where he needs to be. And you can see from the end zone angle here that Odell Beckham just makes a good play. The Rams are very good. They have a lot of high quality players at receiver. Their quarterback was throwing seeds all game. He was putting the ball on the money. As you can see, when that happens, there's going to be a lot of variance. In the first half, the Rams made plays. In the second half, the 49ers made plays. I thought the defensive line was just outstanding, played about as well as you could ask for 4 quarters. And again, it didn't show up in the scoreboard in the first half, but the ball evens out over the course of the game. It showed its face. 49ers just way more physical, way more violent up front, and we have a mark. We will talk about that. We will talk about everything that we saw from the defense and why this unit is the reason the 49ers are in the playoffs. All right, so 21 on the Rams defense. That was the mark for the 49ers. 55, the center, Brian Allen, was the mark for the defense. On early downs, it was really just DJ Jones overwhelming him, as you can see right there, just resetting the line of scrimmage. And when I say they won up front, they bullied the interior three, especially these three right here. But the center, by my count over the course of the game, they beat him 9 times, which is unheard of to have that type of success against one lineman. But that kind of led to, a lot of success that the 49ers had. And we'll get into that more as the game went along. But as you can see, a lot of 3rd and longs, 3rd and 9s, and they converted, but that's not sustainable because they were winning up front. 3rd downs, we're used to seeing D'Amico Ryans just come out firing. He's going to blitz. He's going to show you what he's going to do, and he doesn't care. That's been the theme all season. Against the Rams, it seemed like he came out a little more passive just because he probably didn't trust his cornerbacks. And based on the last few games, how could you? So here we go. 3rd and long. This is the play where Cooper Kupp gets a long bomb on Dante Johnson. So they're just going to rush 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then everybody else is going to be manned up. And then you're going to have Jaquiski Tart. He's going to be the robber. And then you're going to have Talanoa Hufanga up top here. So they go in a dime look with an extra DB. And I love that, just to have more speed on the field. The problem is, you have a backup cornerback against a guy who is 1,900-yard receiver. He's a 1,900-yard receiver. He's going to be good. In my opinion, there is no better wide receiver in the NFL at the top of his route than gaining separation than Cooper Kupp. And a lot of that happened during this game where, he's just a really good player and you have to tip your cap. To me, the issue here isn't the lack of blitzing, isn't, Dante Johnson even. It's Talanoa Hufanga who gets caught in no man's land. So, three wide receivers to the bottom, 1 wide receiver to the top. You have to act as if he is your best corner, and Emmanuel Moseley is, and he proved that all game. So when that's the case, when you're getting depth right here, knowing where your help should be, Talanoa Hufanga has to get this way. So he can't just drop straight back. He has to get depth and he has to get width. That way, Dante Johnson doesn't have to guard the entire half of the field against one of the best receivers in the NFL. So I'm willing to forgive Johnson on this play just because he shouldn't have to play press man against Cooper Kupp. To me, that's on Hufanga. And again, so injuries cause you to do this. Injuries cause you to put players in places that they probably shouldn't be playing in a must-win game. But if Hufanga just gets, first of all, he has to read the quarterback, get a better clue. So Stafford's looking left. He's doing a really good job of playing with the safety, knowing, just as we talked about with Jimmy the other day, he wants to go here the whole time. Rookie, probably not going to get that. Probably thinks that he's squeezed to the sideline. He's not going to be able to make a play. So again, just fine work. He's just guarding grass. Look at it. He's not relating to any type of receiver right here. To me, this is on the free safety more than anybody. And Dante Johnson kind of gets hung out to dry because of it. Arden Key made himself a lot of money during the second half. And I think on this play, so it's a sack. Eric Armstead getting a good rush from the edge. So that helps. And honestly, all of these guys are just really, really good. When you can have a competent edge rusher and put your best player inside, get a one-on-one matchup. But what I really think the reason this play works is, so just them running a little stunt, a little twist, drops the eye level of the quarterback. And it's pretty crazy that at all levels of football, just the movement up front and color, the opposite color flashing, caused the quarterback to drop his eyes. You can tell, even a veteran quarterback like Stafford right there, once he sees the pocket pushed a little bit, drops his eyes, sack. And it helps when, everybody's winning almost instantaneously. But yeah, these guys were dominant, man, all game. When I tell you there was a bullseye on 55, I mean, Kentavious Street, DJ Jones, Arden Key, Eric Armstead, of course. Everybody beat him. And I think Kevin Givens got him a couple plays before this, but just watch this play. He gets beat right away. Kentavious Street, 2nd and 14. You get off the field when you win one-on-one, but they were really taking advantage of 55. All right, 2-play sequence here. So 3rd down, then 4th down. It's 3rd and 8, I believe, and they end up giving up 7 yards. When I say Kupp is the best at the top of his route, it's plays like this. So Dante Johnson, Cooper Kupp, one-on-one. I mean, 3rd down. You're probably going to be one-on-one in this situation, knowing who the defensive coordinator is, DeMeco Ryans. That's how he's going to live. And watch this play. So walks him inside, pauses, sells that he's going inside again, and then dips to the outside. All while playing with like different tempo, different pace at every second. So right there, like he's just cooked right there. So 4th down happens. They go for it on 4th down because you give up this many yards on 3rd down. You can check the pass rush out here. Again, they're not going to win literally every time, but as you can see, they're close. They are really, really close to doing so. But I mean, again, you have to tip your cap to Stafford and to Kupp because they were on another level all game. So here's a 4th down play. And who is this on? Like when you first watch it, you're thinking, oh, wow, everybody got fooled. Jimmy Ward, touchdown. But when you see just like how the rules would go, cornerback, in man on the line of scrimmage. He is going to take probably whoever's leaking out, which is the running back, I'd imagine. That's how it plays out. Jimmy Ward is free by definition. He just has, he's probably going to come down here, take away any sort of crossing route, whether it's him, whether he comes shallow. Ward is so heads up, so heady that he sees it late, but by then, it's just way too late. And you can see from the end of the play here, Tart looks at Ambry Thomas, lets him know what's up. But what happens? How does this happen? His eyes just get caught in the backfield. A lot of players do this, young players especially. He's probably never really seen this in live action on the field. It's one thing to see it on the TV screen, like when you're reviewing tape, but to have it live, I don't even know if the Rams have shown this, but you see Tart talking to him there. Yeah, you just have to do your job. And this is that was one of the few plays where, as a team, the 49ers didn't. And that's how you get up a touchdown. All right, here is the touchdown to the top of the screen. So this comes after 49ers give up a long punt return. If they are going to advance in the playoffs, their special teams has to be crisp. They cannot make these type of mistakes and put the defense in a bad situation like this. So, top of the screen, one-on-one. Tyler Higbee, tight end, is going to run a sluggo, I believe. Ambry Thomas is actually in good position. He's in great position even. So let's check it out. Runs the stutter and go. Thomas doesn't bite. So Thomas is chest to chest right now. That is perfect. He eliminates the space. He is in position. What do you want him to do there? Pass is perfect. Passes up and away to where he can't make a play on it, and he just didn't make a play on it. So he's been the victim of a lot of these over the second half. And like right there, what would you want him to do better? Look where the pass is. He would almost have to jump through. You want him to have longer arms, jump through the wide receiver here. But I think this is one of the situations, and it's going to be tough to swallow, that, the offense just made a better play than the defense. Good offense beats good defense. Just money ball, great catch, great finish. There's nowhere else to put that pass. If it's a hair to the left, Higbee lands out of bounds. Touchdown. They were in position all game. And as you can see, 17-0. It didn't feel like it, but the defense wasn't playing poorly. All right, so this is 3rd down with 44 seconds left. This is how the offense And the 49ers were able to come back and win the game. So they go into half 17-0, down 17-0. They probably don't make up that difference, but just being able to kick a field goal, only making it a 2-possession game, just gives you so much life. That happens because the defense gets a sack on this third down. So again, pretty straightforward here. This just happens. Their guys up front are just better than the Rams, and I think that is the only way to put it. So man coverage across the board. Greenlaw on the running back. Moseley outside leverage against Beckham. They're funneling it into Fred Warner. And again, you see Tart, Dante Johnson, Jimmy Ward. Or sorry, this is not Jimmy Ward. This is Ambry Thomas and Jimmy Ward playing up top. But it just comes down to Bosa and Armstead on the same side winning. Good coverage up front, but as you can see, when you win that quickly, see Shanahan running on the field to the bottom of the screen calling the timeout. When you win that quickly, yeah, you are in deep trouble if you're the quarterback. So, again, taking advantage of this guy, winning right away. There's a lot to like just from this pass rush. Obviously, they're all really good, but they throw old 55 there, who, again, just all afternoon, just taking advantage of the lack of athleticism from their interior line. So you see Armstead get the sack there, but watch how much ground he covers. 1, 2, 3, 4. On his fourth step, he's already cleared the hips of the lineman. You never want to be parallel like this. That probably means you are going to, just create a soft edge for him to get around the corner. What I love about Bosa and his pass rush moves is, so not only is he able to, get past the lineman in 4 steps or whatever it is, his hands are married, so watch. He doesn't lose track. He's not stopping his feet as he makes contact, so he's able to win with his hands while he's still gaining ground, and that's honestly why he's a superstar. All right, this is my favorite play of the game on both sides of the ball. So I mentioned how Ryans wasn't as aggressive in the first half, and in the second half, he realized if I'm going to give up big plays and not be able to blitz, I might as well come after you and then make you beat me through the air. So not only was the adjustment that Jimmy Ward started guarding Kupp, but Ryan started to be far more aggressive. And this play is why I think the reason the 49ers are so successful on defense is because they have a lot of unselfish players, and you can see that on this play. So first off, you have to, if you are going to blitz, you have to be able to trust at least one of your corners. So as the second half went along, they just put Moseley on Beckham, and they're like, you take him out. And Beckham did not have a catch after the second quarter, I believe, when he caught a 3rd and 2. So that helps. Having a guy this guy made a lot of money because he was very good, very efficient, took away a lot of routes from Kupp, from Beckham. But anyway, they have some unselfish guys, and this play is why. So it seems like, to me, they're running some type of blitz coverage on this play. We'll talk about the back end. So Ward's going to blitz, Greenlaw's going to blitz, Warner's going to blitz. Ebukam is going to fall off. So to the top of the screen, looks like he's just looking at the quarterback, trying to take away any sort of quick route from this outside receiver. If he doesn't get that, he'll probably zone off. And they're going to be, so Dante Johnson is going to be outside leverage. Tart is going to probably jump on any sort of crosser from number 2. Ebukam is going to pass off. Here, I'll let it run. Ebukam is going to be the underneath defender, but he passes off like he's been playing DB for a while. So just all around, the coverage on the back end is really good. So it's going to be hot. So it looks like, Kupp comes open, but look how many players they're bringing. The illusion is that, you get a free guy underneath. You have a hot throw, and he's covered. So great job there. I think Tart does a good job. But what I want to talk about is like the unselfishness on this play. So in a lot of instances, at any level, you see guys, so they're blitzing. Warner's going to blitz. Ward's going to blitz. This is intended for Greenlaw to be a free runner. Why? So this all works because they're going to walk up 3 defensive linemen. When you have 3 bigs, you are going to set your protection to them. So the center is going to be responsible for him. Guard is going to be responsible for him. And the tackle is going to be responsible for him. So you have 2-on-2. So you're thinking, all right, I have him. I have him. It ends up being 1, 2, 3, 4 on 1, 2, 3. So the design is brilliant. It works because he does his job. He does his job. So the intention is Warner's blitzing, but this won't work if he does not cross his face. So if he has to get on this side of his shoulder by cross his face, essentially make him turn his head, make him not be able to account for anybody else inside. Warner does that. Second, Ward's going to blitz from depth. He's going to blitz the outside shoulder of the running back. And again, make sure that he cannot help to the inside. All this happens, and you get free runner from a guy who runs a 4.5 with great closing speed, get an incomplete pass. So I'll let it run through again. Watch Warner cross the face of the left guard, and then Ward do his job. Honestly, from a team standpoint, this play is as good as it gets because everybody does their job. And that's why they are successful. So I gave, in the previous video, when I was talking about the offense, I said, Jimmy Garoppolo, you cannot take sacks on max protection plays. Stafford, you cannot take sacks on max protection plays. Just the pressure that they had been getting all game got to him eventually. And in the second half, you could really see where he was starting to drop his eyes. So I think Beckham's open here. So let it play here. You probably have room to layer that ball. I mean, we've seen him make that throw, but because of the opposite color flashing, because the pocket is pushing, just being a nuisance. So Ebukam doesn't get here, but that color, he's thinking, oh, I'm in trouble. Again, DJ Jones coming up is enough to get him to drop his eyes and sack. So they were just all over the offensive line and really dominant. Tie game, fourth quarter, 3rd and 10. You have to get off the field. In the playoffs, you will have to get off the field. You cannot give an offense and allow them to extend their drive like this. So what's going to happen is Van Jefferson, bottom of the screen, who is a promising player who, for whatever reason, the Rams do not like to get the ball to. He's going to run a deep square in, pass the sticks. Warner kind of overruns the throwing lane, and Thomas doesn't relate. I think the difference here is just knowing routes, route recognition. So bottom of the screen, Ambry Thomas, rookie. Top of the screen, Emmanuel Moseley, not a rookie, not exactly a veteran, but a guy who is just, he understands route. He has really good route recognition. Odell Beckham's going to run a double move at full speed. And when you do that, I'll let it play out. When they're running their routes at full speed, they're probably not going to slow down. Moseley understands that, stays on top of the route. Meanwhile, Jefferson begins to throttle down. So his pads pop up. When you see that as a cornerback, you need to understand that they are probably going to begin to throttle down, stop their route, and break either inside or out, one way or the other. So, right there, like his pads start to pop up. He begins to chop his feet. When you see that, he should stop gaining depth and begin to drive on the route. That does not happen. That's why there is that much separation. So he's a rookie. I'm not going to kill him. I'm just saying, as we get further and further into his career, that's something to keep an eye on to see if he begins to understand how routes work. On the backside here, seems like Warner just kind of overran the throwing window. So Darqueze Dennard had this area. He really didn't have to go anywhere over there because there were no routes that took him over there. So the 49ers were spot dropping on this play, meaning they weren't really relating to a specific man, more so to an area. And Warner just gets caught in no man's land. And this is, again, where I talk about with Jimmy, the second window. This is the first window right here, and that's where Warner's running to. The second window is usually money. Stafford takes advantage of that, and that's how you get a huge play on 3rd down. All right, another big play here where you want to get off the field. This is where Cooper Kupp, I believe, is 46 yards. The second half switch where he went against Jimmy Ward went against Kupp is really when the 49ers started to shut the Rams down. Mind you, again, 1,900-yard receiver, one of the best in the NFL. He is going to make plays because he is very good. He is elite, as good as it gets. So, knowing that, you can't ignore everything else that happened and say, oh, Ward sucked because he gave up a big play or a touchdown. You tell me who is going to guard this. But I feel like, again, the pressure got to Stafford. So they blitzed. They brought 5. And he's more so hugging than anything than actually rushing. But still, the illusion of the pressure, somebody's in Stafford's face, they hit him, and he just makes a perfect throw. Kupp is able to adjust, make a contested catch, or is just like a step behind. This isn't your typical free safety. So he's not getting there. He's not, he doesn't know exactly who to help. It's empty. And in this situation, again, you got one-on-one against Beckham or one-on-one with your safety against Kupp. I'm going to go against the guy who has 1,900 yards. He, again, just gets caught in no man's land, but how are you going to be mad at Dante Johnson? Because how often have we seen him play free safety just throughout his entire career, not let alone just this game? So that was a perfect pass. It was a great catch. These things happen, and it sucks when you're on the other end of it, but there's no way you can be mad at this. See, pressure is so close to getting there. There's that center again. Being the mark. 55 on one of your hottest rushers, Arden Key. Beats him almost instantaneously. Throws a blind fadeaway. And you give up that big play. Again, you have to tip your hat at some point. And that was huge play. Felt like that was ball game when we saw that throw. If the big play to Kupp felt like ball game, this felt like, it's it. It's a wrap. It was a fun season. Had a good run, but too inconsistent. So they're just going to run a corner route with Kupp. And again, Ward is on there. When you handle the point in this, so the point is usually the top receiver. When you handle the point in bunch sets, you are usually going to win that matchup. I thought Darqueze Dennard did a really nice job of bullying Van Jefferson at the line of scrimmage here, as you can see. So he's out of his route. They're going to run a flat concept, a flat route to hold the cornerback. Emmanuel Moseley actually does a really nice job of coming off that route. He's just a second late. That ball is high and away. Again, I don't know what you want Ward to do here, like just to guess the route, because when you get an inside release like that, it's easy to think, he's probably going to run inside. But full speed, Ward doesn't do anything wrong there. The pass is exactly where it needs to be. The throw, the catch, Moseley's just a split second late. It's never fun to be on the wrong side of perfect plays, but I'm not sure what else you want Ward to do other than him guessing the routes. That is a very tough play to guard. Touchdown. So you punt the ball back to the Rams with 3 timeouts, and the Rams, they have 24 points. They're probably going to get a first down based on the probabilities. The mark is the reason they weren't. Also, DJ Jones, he was excellent as he has been all season. Glad he stayed healthy all season, but they're able to beat him on this play. And, that's a 2nd and 10 run that goes for nothing. If you get any yards there, you're probably going to give up a first down on the following play. So just a really good job all game from DJ and the interior guys to get a stop there and to really own the center and the interior alignment. All right, so everything comes full circle here. I mentioned how the 49ers cornerbacks were in position all game. I thought the defensive line did a really good job of getting pressure all game. And now, finally, everything comes together, and Ambry Thomas finishes the game with an interception. I've heard people say that this was underthrown and he was lucky. I do not believe that for 1 second. If you just watch him and only him, he's playing the ball in the air the entire time. So he has eyes on the quarterback. He knows where the ball is. Interception. Just as you can see, Fred Warner there throws his helmet off in disbelief. But I think this is a really good job in coverage by playing finding the ball in the air. This has been one of his biggest issues, is playing the ball in the air. You would still like him to extend, go up, and not fade away, catching it falling away. But, who's going to critique an interception when it's the reason you make the playoffs? But the defensive line here gets just enough pressure. Stafford isn't able to fully step into the throw, which is why the pass ends up where it does. But just a remarkable game, man. As good as it gets, you cannot spot a team 17 points if you want to win. At the same time, it wasn't as if the 49ers can beat left and right. They were winning on a lot of downs. They did not win on third downs to start the game, and that's why, the Rams were able to sustain a little bit of success. The ways that they were winning was not going to be how they were going to beat the 49ers. So the fadeaways, the blind throws, the fades, those were perfect passes. You're not going to beat most teams, especially elite level defenses like this, in a must-win situation, like in games like this. So kudos for the 49ers sticking with it. Kudos to DeMeco Ryans for making adjustments as the game went along. He didn't leave Dante Johnson on Cooper Kupp. he put his best man, Jimmy Ward, on there and figured if I'm going to lose, I'm going to go down swinging with my guys. That happened. Yes, Ward gave up some plays, but there were like 50 other plays where they took up away. The pressure got to them. And just an overall about as good as you can ask for performance from the defense in a tough spot. I think Moseley earned himself some money. Arden Key did as well. And they're going to have to do it again because the Cowboys are going to be able to score points, and they have been all season. So really excited to start to get into that matchup and break it down. But, I mean, it's probably time to turn the page now. But, again, just what we saw Sunday was, I mean, from top to bottom, about as good as it gets. From the effort, from the execution, and I'm glad that it paid off for them at the end.